Hello, everybody. I am a Uber driver and I go onto this forum every morning and I've tried to respond to a lot of people's postings just because I get bored in the mornings before my regular job. So today, with accordance with the permission of the one of the owners of this website, at least I think it was one of the owners. Well, I sent a contact message. I was given permission to make videos about certain posts in here. And again, I'm not an Uber employee. My opinions do not reflect that of the company. It's merely a response to each of these individual topics that I'm going to pick. And I'm going to pick one from the complaints and one from the advice topic today. And let's see what's under complaints. Let's take a look here. You've got the featured Uber drivers demand for 2018. You've got the quality of current Uber drivers I'm seeing. That's been out for a little while. I complain about taking Uber taking more than 50% on this form, and I stopped getting pings. Let's take a look at some of the demands, just because I haven't really responded to this one. I've read it, but I haven't really responded. Let's take a look. Let's see. Better pay with a minimum of $1.10 per mile. I'm assuming this is towards the drivers. 50 cents a minute for the lowest markets. Minimum $5 fare. Uber takes no more than 35% of the fare. Support based in the U.S. instead of some third world country through the app. Uber encourages in-app tipping and makes it obvious that it's now allowed. Get rid of the ratings game altogether, along with the current rating of every driver. Service dog warning. Drivers will still follow their state's ADA laws, but at least give the passenger a chance to warn us in advance. Anything else? Okay, well, since I'm going to be responding in this fashion, I may as well just stick with this topic as opposed to just getting advice, and I'm only doing a single take of this video. Yeah, you are not going to get the better pay in California markets at all. I mean, there are some taxi rides that are $2.50 a mile, and at the rates you're asking for roughly about $1.60 per mile minute if you're going 60 miles per hour on the freeway with no traffic. And even if you were going slower than that in regular LA traffic, which usually takes you about 4 minutes to go through a good majority of that traffic per mile, you're looking at roughly $3.10, 4 times 50, which gives you $2 plus the $1.10 for that mile, so that's about $3.10 a mile. Yeah, you're not going to get that in this market, especially if you want to keep us cheaper than the taxis. Minimum fare of $5. Yeah, I'm not even going to respond to that, especially if we're going to talk about minimum wage in individual states. I'm just going to keep it off of that. Uber takes no more than 35% of the fare. Well, I've probably stated a lot more on this than I'm going to, but in terms of what people say is commissions, all we really need to care about is how much they're paying us in terms of the fare. And you can find that on uber.com under fares, and you can look at the majority of, actually all of, what you are earning per ride, per mile, per minute. So I don't really like to respond to commission rates. You drive whatever whatever Uber agrees to give you, and if you don't like it, bring it up with customer support. That's simple as that. This one I heavily agree on. Support based in U.S. instead of some third world country. I don't know where their support's based out of, but I know that their support is really, really scripted, and it takes a while to get any form of a response. Goodness forbid if we have to adjust our fares because the GPS failed. Oh my gosh, that happens more often than not. Uber encourages in-app tipping and makes it obvious that it's now allowed. It does to a degree if the person's like watching the app itself, and it does say at the bottom just below the ratings. It's very awkward to see. Like if anybody ever actually takes an Uber Eats, they make it a whole screen with 2, 4, and 6, and there's a little itty bitty skip button on the top right hand corner. Get rid of the ratings game altogether along with current ratings of every driver. No. This one I would flat out say no. Because it's not hard to maintain a good rating. Um, Again, you just talk passively, relax, and you stay cool with it. Um, and I've never really had an issue in my area with ratings. I'm at a 4.92 currently. A lot of the other drivers in my area that I've talked to are about 4.85 to 4.9. Um, I know that when I drive in some of the more congested areas, especially during peak hours, it gets a little finicky, but most people tend to rate fives as opposed to ones. Service dog warnings. I would gladly agree to service dog warnings. Um, just like a 45-minute plus warning. If somebody's going to bring an animal into your car, it would be nice to know that Uber's keeping track of who is doing it and when they're doing it. And there are occasions where some people are deathly allergic to dogs. I have a student that I work with regularly who is deathly allergic to dogs. But at least then you could say cancel, you can decline the trip, and if they just decline the trip, it's like, oh, you don't want to go pick up this person, that's fine. But moving along with that. So that's my response to this particular item. Again, I doubt they're going to give us that particular item. California has raised their minimum wage to $10.50 minimum or $11 depending on each individual item, and that's still roughly obtainable. In my area, it's really slow, but we'll make roughly about 15 to 35 an hour depending on how we do. Very rarely do I ever get the minimum fare. It's just look at what you agree to. Definitely find better support, or at least train the support representatives better, and I could talk to a machine better than I could talk to them. Maybe make the screen a little bit bigger. No, because this actually keeps a lot of really bad drivers off the road. Definitely because it's a nice little setup in case somebody is deathly allergic to dogs. And yeah, I mean, somebody wants the addresses on the ping screen. There was a lot of discrimination that occurred in multiple states because of it, so no, I don't think they're ever going to give us that back. Let's see. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do for this one. Let's take a look now at the advice column. Let's see if I can give something really, really quick. Whoops, clicked on the wrong item. Go back. Let's see. Darn it! By the power that be, you stupid phone, I command you to work. Think about the next time you cancel on a passenger. That one's been really popular. Too many riders. This is a really, really good one. I've been driving since December of last year. I've driven the same car entire time, a Nissan Rogue, 1 to 4. People want to seat 5 to 6 people. Called another Uber, cancel altogether. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, this is a big issue in my area, especially with a lot of the university students. They want to stick in multiple people into the car. And, the easy thing to say is, I'm sorry, I can't fit you guys in my car. I don't want to risk losing my license, etc., etc. I'm going to cancel this trip on too many passengers. Or you guys can call a second Uber to come pick up your other friends. Or you guys can be smart and call an Uber XL. Little things like that. But there's so many things that you can say that are non-provoking. As long as you tell them, hey, I don't want to get a ticket. I don't want to lose my license. They're usually pretty responsive, and they say somebody else took them and say, I'm sorry. But that person was willing to break the law, and I'm not. Peace.